My brother's fiancée strutted around our house like she already owned it. She talked about or business, or inheritance, and even planned which room she'd redecorate when she moved in. She wasn't married yet, but she acted like she was already the queen of our family empire. So I decided, if she wanted to play gold digger, she was about to dig her own hole. If you've ever dealt with someone who thought they could walk all over your family, this story is for you. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment if you've ever seen karma come full circle. Because in this one, justice isn't just served, it's strategically executed. Let's dive in. I'm the middle child in my family, 32 years old, with an older brother, Adam, who's 35, and a younger sister, Lily. We grew up in a tight-knit household. My dad started a small construction business in the late 80s. He built it from scratch, brick by brick, and eventually expanded into property rentals. We weren't ultra-rich, but comfortable. The kind of family that worked for everything we had. Nothing was handed down without sweat and respect. So, when Adam got engaged to Melissa, we all wanted to be happy for him. She was charming at first, polite, well-spoken. My mom even said, "She's got that put-together vibe, doesn't she?" Yeah, too put together. Because behind that perfect smile was something calculating, something that didn't sit right with me. It started with small comments, subtle, almost harmless. At Sunday dinner one week, she casually asked my dad, "Chore, so when Adam takes over the family business, do you think he'll want to change anything?" My dad chuckled, a little confused. "Well, I'm not retiring yet, Melissa. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it." She laughed it off, but her eyes didn't. A week later, she came to one of the company barbecues. She introduced herself to the employees as the future Mrs. Miller, owner of the business. I saw the raised eyebrows. I saw the uncomfortable smiles. When I pulled Adam aside later, I said, "It maybe remind her that no one's taken over anything yet." He frowned. "Come on, man. Don't be so judgmental. She's just excited, maybe." But it didn't stop there. She started showing up at our family home, uninvited. She'd walk through the hallway like she was doing a property inspection, touching furniture, making notes on her phone. One afternoon, she stood in the living room and said, "Chua, once we're married, we'll probably move into this house. It's got such potential, maybe knock down that wall, open up the kitchen." I stared at her. "Melissa, this is my parents' home. They're not moving anywhere." She gave me that patronizing smile, the kind that says, "Oh, you'll understand when you're older." Well, eventually, it'll all belong to the next generation, right? That was the first time I felt real anger. My heart pounded, my palms went sweaty. I didn't say it out loud, but I thought, "You've known my brother for a year. You haven't earned a damn thing here." A few weeks later, she cornered me after dinner. "So, how does your dad plan to divide the inheritance? Equally among you three?" I blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm just curious. Adam and I want to plan our future. It's smart to know what's coming, you know." My jaw nearly dropped. That's when I realized this wasn't just ignorance. This was strategy. She wasn't marrying my brother out of love. She was marrying up. I tried warning Adam again, but he brushed it off. "You always overthink things. Melissa's just practical. She's just asking questions." I didn't push. I knew if I argued, he'd double down. So instead, I decided I'd wait, watch, collect my own proof. One weekend, my parents hosted a family dinner and invited Melissa's parents, too. It was supposed to be a nice, get-to-know evening. Halfway through the meal, Melissa raised her glass and said, "Sir? Here's to new beginnings. Soon, we'll be the ones taking care of this home, and the business will be in good hands." The table went silent. My mom's fork froze midair. My dad's expression hardened, the way it does when he's about to fire someone. My dad said calmly, "Melissa, dear, I think there's been some confusion. The business isn't being handed over anytime soon. And this house, well, it's ours." She laughed awkwardly, glancing at Adam for backup, but he just looked uncomfortable. Later that night, she whispered something to him in the driveway. I couldn't hear, but her face was twisted with frustration. She looked like someone whose plan had just hit a wall. That's when I decided it was time for revenge. Not out of spite, but to protect my brother and remind her that greed has consequences. My dad and I talked it over. We both knew she was sniffing around for financial information, so we decided to set a little trap. A few weeks later, my dad, casually, mentioned that he was drafting changes to the will, and that the business might soon go under my name, since I was more involved day to day. We knew that info would travel fast, especially through Melissa. And sure enough, within 2 days, Adam confronted me. Tor, why didn't you tell me Dad's giving you the business? Because he's not, I said.
Why?
Did Melissa tell you that? His silence said everything. That night, Melissa showed up at the office, after hours. Security cameras caught her trying to open my dad's desk drawer. When she realized it was locked, she started taking photos of financial statements left on the desk. We had the whole thing on camera. The next morning, Dad called a family meeting. Melissa showed up acting innocent, even brought muffins. My dad started calmly, Melissa, I think there's something you should see. He turned on the TV, and there she was, caught in 1080p, rifling through the office, her face drained of color. That's not what it looks like. Dad folded his arms. Then what does it look like? Because it looks like someone trying to access confidential business records. She started babbling about misunderstandings, saying she was just helping Adam understand the business better. Adam sat in stunned silence. I could see the heartbreak flicker in his eyes, betrayal and disbelief colliding at once. My dad leaned forward, voice calm but firm. Tror? Melissa, I think it's best you step away from our family and our company permanently. She stood up, stammered something about ungrateful people, and stormed out. Adam didn't chase her. That night, Adam came to my place. He looked broken. I thought she loved me, he said quietly. She loved the idea of your future, I replied. Not you. I guess he nodded slowly. I guess I needed to see it for myself. It took him months to fully recover, but eventually he thanked us, especially Dad, for not letting it go too far. Turns out, she'd also been looking into transferring parts of the company to joint ownership after marriage. She'd even consulted a lawyer. Yeah, she had plans. A year later, I got a call from one of our contractors. Apparently, Melissa had tried to start her own small renovation business, using some of our old client leads. Word spread fast that she'd been caught stealing data from a previous employer. Her reputation in the local industry ruined. She lost investors, burned bridges, and ended up working a basic admin job for one of our subcontractors, no less. My brother eventually met someone new, someone humble, kind. When they got engaged, she never once asked about money, inheritance, or business shares. And at their wedding, my dad pulled me aside and said, "Sometimes the best revenge isn't anger, it's exposure. You can't fake integrity." He was right. Melissa thought she could marry into wealth. But instead, she married herself to a lesson she'll never forget. Looking back, I realized this wasn't just about protecting our money. It was about protecting our values. Greed disguises itself as ambition. Entitlement wears a smile. But eventually, truth always strips away the mask. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers through the quiet satisfaction of knowing karma did its job. If you've ever seen karma expose someone like this, hit that like button. Comment below. What's the most satisfying revenge or justice story you've ever witnessed? And if you love true stories where people get exactly what they deserve, make sure to subscribe for more weekly Reddit revenge tales. Until next time, remember integrity is priceless and karma never forgets.